This short retelling reimagines Jurassic Park set in China's Ming Dynasty, blending history with prehistoric fantasy.
Chapter 1: The Emperor's Secret Garden. In the heart of the vast and powerful Ming Dynasty, a secret whispered through the corridors of the Forbidden City. It was said that the Emperor Yongle, a ruler with an insatiable appetite for the extraordinary, had commissioned a garden unlike any other, a place where the past lived and breathed. This was no ordinary collection of flora and fauna. It was said to be a sanctuary for creatures that had roamed the earth eons before the rise of man. The garden was hidden deep within the imperial grounds, shielded from the prying eyes of courtiers and commoners alike. Its existence was known only to a select few, sworn to silence by their loyalty to the throne and the fear of the unknown. The emperor, a visionary fascinated by the ancient texts of scholars and the wild tales of travelers, had dreamt of beholding the majesty of creatures that had once been lords of the land and sky. To realize this dream, he had enlisted the services of a peculiar foreigner, a man of science who claimed to possess the knowledge to bring the past to life. This man, whose name was whispered in hushed tones as Master Shu, was said to have traveled far and wide, gathering relics and remnants of a world long lost. With the emperor's boundless resources at his disposal, Master Shu had embarked on a quest that defied the natural order. The garden was meticulously crafted, a masterpiece of landscape design that fused the elegance of traditional Chinese gardens with the untamed beauty of nature. Hidden within its walls were lush forests, sparkling streams, and misty mountains, all carefully constructed to mimic the habitats of the ancient beasts. As the years passed, rumors of the garden's true purpose began to spread beyond the palace walls. Tales of thunderous roars echoing in the night and colossal shadows that danced upon the moonlit walls tantalized the imagination of the people. Yet, no one dared to seek out the truth, for the penalty for trespassing in the emperor's secret sanctuary was death. It was on a night when the moon hung heavy in the sky, casting a silvery glow over the empire, that the story truly began. A young palace guard named Li Wei, driven by curiosity and the boldness of youth, found himself drawn to the enigmatic garden. His heart raced as he slipped past the watchful eyes of his fellow guards, the allure of the forbidden proving too strong to resist. As Li Wei ventured deeper into the garden, the air grew thick with a primal energy that sent shivers down his spine. The sounds of the night were alive with a chorus of calls that were both alien and awe-inspiring. It was then that he saw it, a towering figure that emerged from the shadows, its eyes reflecting the moonlight with a fierce intelligence. The creature, a magnificent dragon of the ancient world, regarded Li Wei with a gaze that bridged the chasm of time. In that moment, Li Wei understood the magnitude of the emperor's ambition and the terrible beauty of his secret garden. But with this revelation came the realization that such power could not be contained forever. The story of the emperor's secret garden was just beginning, and Li Wei knew that the fate of the empire might one day rest in the hands of these resurrected titans of a bygone era. As dawn approached, Li Wei fled the garden, his mind ablaze with images of the past made flesh. He knew he could never speak of what he had seen, for the truth of the emperor's garden was a treasure and a terror, meant to be kept hidden from the world. But as the sun rose over the Forbidden City, it was clear that the legacy of the Ming Dynasty had been forever entwined with the echoes of a distant Jurassic past. Chapter 2: The Imperial Invitation. The whispers of the emperor's secret garden grew louder, rippling through the Forbidden City like a silent storm. It was not long before the murmurs reached the ears of the most esteemed scholars and dignitaries of the Ming Dynasty. The emperor, sensing the growing curiosity and the potential for unrest, decided it was time to unveil his marvel to a select few who could appreciate the magnitude of his achievement. An imperial invitation was issued, a rare parchment bearing the emperor's seal, delivered by the swiftest of couriers to a handful of the empire's most revered minds. The message was cryptic, promising a revelation that would unveil the tapestry of time and bestow upon the eyes of the worthy a vision of the celestial dance of life and death. Among the recipients was the venerable scholar, Yongle, a man whose wisdom was as vast as the sea and whose knowledge of the ancient texts was unparalleled. His hands trembled as he read the invitation, the weight of the emperor's words pressing upon him like the mountains themselves. Yongle knew that whatever lay within the emperor's secret garden must be a fusion of the natural world and the boundless realm of possibility. On the appointed day, the chosen few gathered at the gates of the forbidden city, their faces a mixture of excitement and trepidation. They were escorted by the Imperial Guard through a labyrinth of corridors and courtyards, each step taking them closer to the heart of the mystery. As they entered the garden, a hush fell over the assembly. The beauty of the landscape was breathtaking, a symphony of nature's finest work. But it was the creatures that roamed within that stole their breath away. Towering behemoths with skin like the earth itself, winged serpents that filled the sky with their majestic span, and fierce predators whose roars shook the very ground they walked upon. The scholars and dignitaries stood in awe, their eyes wide with wonder and fear. The emperor, dressed in his finest robes, appeared among them, his presence commanding and proud. He spoke of his vision, of his desire to reclaim the glory of the ancient world and to stand as a ruler not just of men, but of time itself. Master Shu, the enigmatic foreigner, stood by the emperor's side, his face a mask of satisfaction. He explained the methods by which these creatures had been brought back to life, a blend of ancient alchemy and the deepest secrets of nature. The assembly listened, spellbound by the tale of how the impossible had been rendered possible. The emperor declared that the garden would serve as a symbol of the dynasty's might and the unyielding spirit of the Chinese people. It would be a place of study and contemplation, where the empire's greatest minds could explore the mysteries of life that had once been lost to the ages. As the sun set on the Imperial Invitation, the guests departed with their minds alight with what they had witnessed. The emperor's secret garden was no longer a mere rumor, it was a testament to human ambition and the eternal quest for knowledge. But as the gates closed behind them, a sense of unease settled in the hearts of some. For in their midst, there were those who questioned the wisdom of resurrecting the past, of awakening forces that had once dominated the earth. They wondered if the emperor had truly considered the consequences of his actions, or if his thirst for greatness had blinded him to the dangers of playing God. The story of the emperor's secret garden had unfolded its next chapter, and the fate of the Ming Dynasty was now entwined with the creatures of a world long gone. The question that lingered in the air, as palpable as the mist that shrouded the garden, was whether this union would lead to enlightenment or catastrophe. In the twilight of the Ming Dynasty, the emperor's secret garden, once a silent testament to human ingenuity, became an arena where the ancient past and the ambitious present collided. The creatures, magnificent as they were, knew not the confines of man's designs, nor the delicate balance of their new world. It was not long before the whispers of unease among the scholars turned to cries of alarm as the beasts, guided by instincts honed over millennia, began to challenge the boundaries set by their human creators. The dragon of the ancient world, whose eyes had once met leeways with a wisdom beyond time, spread its colossal wings, casting a shadow that heralded a change. The ground trembled, not with awe, but with the stirrings of unrest as the creatures sensed the fragility of the walls that caged them. The garden, a paradise crafted by the hand of the emperor, became a crucible of nature's indomitable will. In the heart of the forbidden city, the emperor stood, his vision of dominion over time unraveling before his eyes. The beasts, once symbols of his power, now roared with a voice that challenged the heavens themselves. The scholars and dignitaries who had marveled at the spectacle now beheld the folly of their hubris. The garden was no longer a place of wonder, but a reminder that some tapestries of time are not meant to be unwoven. As the dynasty's mightiest warriors clashed with the resurrected titans, the battle was not for glory, but for survival. The air was filled with the clash of steel and the cries of man and beast, a symphony of chaos that echoed through the ages. In the end, it was not the strength of the walls or the might of the warriors that restored the semblance of peace, but the wisdom of Zhonglu. With a heart heavy with sorrow, he beseeched the emperor to see that the true measure of greatness lay not in conquering the past, but in respecting its power. Reluctantly, the emperor conceded, and the creatures were granted passage to a sanctuary far from the realms of man, where they could roam as they had once done in the epochs of old. The secret garden, now silent, stood as a monument to the emperor's dream and the enduring lesson that the dance of life and death is a celestial one, not to be led by the hands of mortals. And so, the legacy of the Ming Dynasty was etched not only in the annals of human history, but in the timeless saga of the earth itself, a tale of the eternal clash of man and beast.